Tonight begins with KCAL9's Juan Fernandez. He is live in Mexico City with the very latest, including that desperate effort to save a little girl who's trapped alive in that rubble of her own school. Juan?
Indeed, Jeff, and the search and rescue efforts continue very strong here. In fact, something very interesting happened here behind me. Just a short time ago, all the lights went out, and I thought that they lost power for a second. But police here telling me that they're using special lights, red lights and green lights, specific lasers. Red lights apparently can detect oxygen in cracks and crevices inside a collapsed building, and the green lights help to illuminate the building. So something that they definitely want to do. Also, some good news to report from here. 4 people were pulled from the rubble here earlier today. Still at question, one woman by the name of Jasmine. They're still trying to locate her here in the rubble, but as I mentioned, the search continues here tonight in the city of Mexico. In a race against time, search and rescue teams dig, moving mounds of concrete and steel, and then arms up, a moment of silence, all in hopes of hearing signs of life buried in what was once a 6-story building.
Donde nosotros sabemos está con vida.
It's what Itzel Perez is hoping for. Her brother-in-law, she says, Eric Martin, is believed to be trapped in the rubble and alive. As far as we know, he's alive, she tells me, so I'm here to do what I can. She and her friend Claudia Castillo spent the evening passing out coffee and sweet rolls to search teams. We are all united, she says. Since we can't help in the search, we help making search teams feel better. Not far from here, another search and rescue mission brought these 2 friends to offer a lending hand. They live in the neighborhood. This is a tragedy that is uniting us, says Oscar Rosano. We may not know each other, but it could have been my brother. Despite it all, there have been moments of hope. 10 miles south of here, a life-and-death struggle continues to free a trapped girl inside the collapsed Enrique Repsamen Elementary School. Crews made contact with 12-year-old Frida Sofia around midday. She's talking and has oxygen and water after being trapped for 36 hours. Earlier today, a boy and a girl were pulled through a crack in the wall. This young boy says he escaped by crawling over a pile of concrete after the main exit of his school was blocked by falling bricks. But they're the lucky ones. 25 classmates and teachers died there. And you may be wondering, how are these crews doing this amazing job? Well, they're actually switched out every 4 hours. They want to keep them fresh. Of course, they're watching the rubble. They're listening for sound. And as you saw there in my report, of course, when they lift that fist up, the silence blankets this entire area here. Motorcycles are stopped in the street. They want to make sure they can listen to any signs of life. And as I mentioned earlier, a woman named by Jasmine is still unaccounted for. Jeff and Susie, I'll send it back to you.
Well, Juan, it's just past midnight there in Mexico City, and rescuers have been working well into the night to try and save that little girl that you've been talking about. And from what we've seen on social media, it seems like the entire country is rallying behind that rescue effort, huh?
Indeed they are, Susie. And you know, that's one of the things that really surprised me covering this story, how this entire country has come together. And of course, that little girl, those images that we first saw coming out of her school, the book bags hanging on the hooks. And in fact, I understand that those children, just hours before the earthquake, had just gone through an earthquake drill. They knew that once they heard the early warning system, they knew exactly what staircase to go to and exactly what to do. So sad that this warning system for that school did not go off in time, and of course those children were trapped. But again, this country is really coming together. Just moments ago, somebody brought these police officers an entire basket of grapes so that they can enjoy some sweetness, right, amongst all this. So it really is incredible. This country coming together, and as you said, rallying around this little girl, everybody rooting for her, that everything turns out okay.
Juan, thank you so much. Juan Fernandez, live tonight in Mexico City for KCAL9.